Hello all, myself Vedangin. I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company, and my today's topic for the discussion is prospectus under Companies Act 2013. So let's begin with what is prospectus. So the Companies Act 2013 defines prospectus under section 2 clause 70, and prospectus can be defined as any document which is described or issued as a prospectus. This also includes any notice, circular, advertisement or any other document acting as an invitation to offer from the public. Such an invitation to offer should be for the purchase of any securities of a corporate body. Even shelf prospectus and red herring prospectus are also considered as a prospectus. Now, talking about the objectives of issuing a prospectus. So the first objective is to bring to the notice of the public that a new company has been formed. Second is to preserve an authentic record of the terms and allotment on which the public have been invited to buy its shares or debentures. And the third objective is to secure that the directors of the company accept responsibility for the statements in the prospectus. And now talking about the essentials that are required for a document to be called as a prospectus. So for any document to be considered as a prospectus, it should satisfy the following conditions, like the document should invite the subscription to the public share or debentures, or it should invite deposits, and such an invitation should be made to the public, and the invitation should be made by the company or on the behalf of the company, and the invitation should relate to the shares, the debentures or any other instrument. Now talking about statement in lieu of prospectus. So every public company either issue a prospectus or file a statement in lieu of prospectus. So this is not mandatory for a private company, but when a private company converts from private to public company, then it must have to either file a prospectus if earlier issued, or it has to file a statement in lieu of prospectus. And the provisions regarding the statement in lieu of prospectus have been mentioned under section 70 of the Companies Act 2013. Now talking about the advertisement of the prospectus. So section 30 of the Companies Act 2013 contains the provisions regarding the advertisement of the prospectus, and this section states that when in any manner the advertisement of a prospectus is published, it is mandatory to specify all the contents of the memorandum of the company regarding the object, the members' liabilities, amount of company share capital, signatories, and the number of shares subscribed by them, and the capital structure of the company. Now talking about the types of prospectus, so there are basically 4 types of prospectus. First is red herring prospectus, second is shelf prospectus, third is abridged prospectus, and the fourth is deemed prospectus. Now let's discuss all these prospectus in brief. So first let's discuss what is shelf prospectus. So shelf prospectus can be defined as a prospectus that has been issued by any public financial institution, company or bank for one or more issues of the securities or class of securities as mentioned in the prospectus. And when a shelf prospectus is issued, then the issuer does not need to issue a separate prospectus for each and every offering. He can offer or sell securities without issuing any further prospectus. And the provisions related to shelf prospectus have been mentioned under section 31 of the Companies Act 2013. The prospectus shall also prescribe the validity period of the prospectus, and it should not be exceeding 1 year. And the period begins from the date of opening of the first offer of the securities, and for any further offer, no separate prospectus is required. Now talking about red herring prospectus. So red herring prospectus is the prospectus which lacks the complete particulars about the quantum of the price of the securities, and a company may issue a red herring prospectus prior to the issue of the prospectus when it is proposing to make an offer of securities. And this type of prospectus needs to be filed with the registrar at least 3 days prior to the opening of the subscription list or the offer. Talking about the abridged prospectus. So the abridged prospectus is a summary of a prospectus filed before the registrar, and it contains all the features of a prospectus. Also, an abridged prospectus contains all the information of the prospectus in brief, so that it should be very convenient for an investor to know all the useful information in short. And section 33 subsection 1 of the Companies Act also states that when any form for the purchase of securities of a company is issued, it must be accompanied by an abridged prospectus. And talking about the deemed prospectus, so deemed prospectus has been mentioned under section 35 subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2013, And when any company offers securities for sale to the public, allots or agrees to allot securities, then the document will be considered as a deemed prospectus through which the offer is made to the public for sale. Now talking about the process for filing and issuing prospectus, so as mentioned under section 33, the application form for the securities is issued only when they are accompanied by a memorandum with all the features of the prospectus referred to as an abridged prospectus. And talking about the exceptions to this rule, so basically there are two exceptions, that when an application form is issued as an invitation to a person to enter into underwriting agreement regarding securities, and application issued for the securities not offered to the general public. Now talking about the contents of the prospectus, so for filing and issuing the prospectus of the company, it must be signed and dated, and it must contain all the necessary information as mentioned under section 26 of the Companies Act 2013, like the contents, basically the name and the registered address of the office, secretary, auditor, the date of opening and closing of the issue, the statement of the BODs about separate bank accounts, statement of the BODs about the details of the utilization and non-utilization of the receipt of previous issues, consent of directors, auditors, and so on. Now talking about the filing of company with the registrar, so as mentioned under section 26 subsection 4 of the Companies Act 2013, the prospectus is not to be issued by a company or on its behalf unless on or before the date of publication a copy of prospectus is delivered to the registrar for the registration, and the copy should be signed by every person whose name has been mentioned in the prospectus as direct or the proposed as director or proposed director or the assigned attorney on his behalf. Talking about the delivery of the copy of the prospectus to the registrar, so section 26 subsection 6 of the Companies Act 2013 provides for the same. It states that the prospectus should mention that its copy has to be delivered to the registrar on its face, and the statement should also mention the document submitted to the registrar along with a copy of the prospectus. Talking about the registration of the prospectus, so section 26 subsection 7 of the Companies Act states about the registration of the prospectus by the registrar, and according to this particular section, the registrar can register a prospectus when it fulfills all the requirements of the section 26 of the Companies Act, and it contains the consent of all the persons who have been named in the prospectus in writing. Also, if a prospectus is not issued before 90 days from the date from which a copy was delivered before the registrar, then it is considered to be invalid. And if a prospectus is issued in contravention of the provision under section 26 of the Companies Act, then the company can be punished under section 26 subsection 9, and the punishment for the contravention is fine of not less than rupees 50,000 extending up to 3 lakhs. And if any person becomes aware of such prospectus after knowing the fact that such prospectus is being issued in contravention of section 26, then he is punishable with the penal provisions of imprisonment up to a term of 3 years and fine of more than rupees 50,000 not exceeding rupees 3 lakhs. So what we can conclude from this entire concept of prospectus is that basically a prospectus is a formal and legal document issued by a body corporate which acts for inviting the offers from the public for subscription or purchase of any securities, and every public company is entitled to issue the prospectus for the shares and debentures, but the same is not required for a private company. Also, a prospectus for being a valid one, it must contain all the essential requisites and it must be registered as well. And if any prospectus is not registered, then it is considered as invalid, and it is mentioned and the contravention has been mentioned under the section that we have already discussed under section 26 subsection 9. And whenever the advertisement of the prospectus is made, then it must contain the memorandum of the company, and when a company is making a proposal for the offer of the securities, then prior to issuing a prospectus, it may issue a red herring prospectus, and a company can also issue a shelf prospectus when it has to make an offer of one or more securities. And also it does not need to have to issue a prospectus before issuing an offer of each security. So a prospectus plays a very important role for every public company, and it must be under the provisions mentioned under the Companies Act. So guys, that's all about my discussion on this entire concept of prospectus. I hope you all liked my video. If you guys have any doubt with regard to this video, then you can comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Lex Click. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye.